ng buhay, di ba magaling ko? Ako ang iyong kasama, kaibigan, sa ating kapamapayan. Magkasangga tayo, magkasangga, magkapatid, magkasangga, magkapatid.
Ang programang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Equilibrium Probiotics. Ito ay ang bagong food supplement na gawa sa mga piling gulay at prutas at dumaan sa isang masusing proseso para mapangalagaan ang inyong kalusugan. Ang Equilibrium Probiotics ay dinisenyo para sa kalusugan ng ating tiyan, tulungan ng pagkuha ng sapat na nutrisyon at ang pagpapalabas sa ating sistema ng mga nakakasirang toxins. Ang Equilibrium Probiotics ay may iba't ibang disenyo at sangkap base sa inyong pangangailangan. Mula sa boost para sa mga bata, fortitude, gusto grape, miracle fruit, periwinkle, at ang pinakabago, liver pro. Ang Equilibrium Probiotics ay may pagmamalaki na produktong gawa sa Tarlac. Ito ay mabibili sa Dashen, Geta Road, San Sebastian, Phase 3, Pinauganan, Tarlac City. At para sa mga malalayong lugar, mabibili ang produkto ng Equilibrium Probiotics sa Lazada. Ito ay eksklusibong gawa ni Ginang Malu Reyes Nure. Ano pang hinihintay nyo, mga kasangga? Hala, bili na! MSB Kape at Balita sa Umaga. Hatid sa inyo ni Kuya Dong. Magandang umaga po, mga kasangga. Today is Monday, July 24, 2021, 2023. I'm sorry, medyo ano pa tayo. Wala pa sa wisyo. At so far, maganda pa naman po ang panahon ngayong umaga. Hindi pa naman po nag-uulan dito sa syudad ng Tarlac. Pero ang balita po papasok na po yata ang egay ngayong araw na to. Kaya kahit gano'n pa man, ingat-ingat po tayo. Magbaka na po tayo ng mga gamit na pangulan para makaiwas po sa sakit. Bago po natin simulan ang ating pagbabalita, samahan niyo po muna ako sa isang maikling panalangin. Sa ngalan ng Ama, at ng Anak ng Espiritu Santo. Amen. Mahal namin lumikha, maraming salamat sa bagong araw na ipinagkaloob ninyo sa amin. Sa mapayapang gabing lumipas at sa patuloy na pagbuhos ng iyong mga biyaya sa amin at sa aming bayan. Naway ipagkaloob pa sa amin ang lakas at tibay ng loob upang mapaglabanan ang kasamaan at manatili po kami sa paggawa ng mabuti sa kapwa at sa pagsunod sa inyong itinurong tamang landas. Lahat ng gawain namin, inaalay namin sa iyong anak na si Jesus, ang aming Panginoon. Amen. Sa ngalan ng Ama, ng Anak, ng Espiritu Santo. Amen. And here is the summary of our top news or top stories for today. July 24, 2023. Three-day transport strike starts today. Philippines-US hold maritime dialogue in Washington. Self-rated poor families at 45%, according to SWS. And for our global update, as long as we have AC, Phoenix heat shows gap between US rich, poor. Our regional stories, Cavite Better wins 22.8 million Lotto pot. Ampatuan's graft conviction upheld. Mayon's lava debris spill over upper slope. And finally in sports, Team Manila stays unbeaten in Texas. Okay. Leading our top stories for today, three-day transport strike starts today. Report by Mayen J. Malen and Bella Carriazo to the Philippine Star. Mayen J. Malen. Okay, good morning, Richelle Tayag. Thanks for joining. Manila, Philippines. A transport group said at least 40,000 jeepney drivers in Metro Manila will participate in the three-day strike starting today, adding that the suspension of classes in working government offices is an admission that the mobilization can paralyze public transportation. In an interview with the Star yesterday, Manibela President Mar Balbuena said that everything is prepared for the scheduled transport strike. Everything is set as at least 40,000 jeepney drivers will join the strikes in Metro Manila and at least 200,000 nationwide, Balbuena said. Well, good morning, admin. He said that jeepney drivers were happy with the issuance of Memorandum Circular Number 25 suspending classes in all levels, as well as work government offices in Metro Manila. I felt respect after the issuance of the proclamation. This only proves that Malacanang is not belittling the transport strike. While they did not say it directly, no less than Malacanang acknowledged our strength, Balbuena said. He added that the memorandum circular issued by the Palace contradicted the earlier statement of Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board Chairman Teofilo Gadis III after he belittled the transportation strike, saying only 2,000 jeepneys are expected to participate in the three-day protest. It's understandable, the statement of FRB, as this is a battle of tactics. But no less than Malacanang, who announced it, suspension proclamation. That's why, when we read it, our members were happy as it was an admission that the Palace acknowledged our cause, Balbuena said. He noted that the suspension of classes and working government offices was due to the transport strike and not the possible impact of severe storm, a tropical storm Egay. They were using the typhoon as one of the reasons, even though the effect is not yet felt. We experienced flooding in Metro Manila, but suspension was not done before. Balbuena noted. According to him, transport groups can opt to stop the strike when the palace suspension with the palace suspension order. The palace suspension order can already be a basis for us to reconsider our 3-day strike, but we will still push through with it to prove that when we say something, we will do it, Balbuena added. He said that the group will decide today if the strike will proceed until Wednesday. You will know by Monday if our transport strike will go on until Wednesday, as two officials, one from LTFRB and one from Malacanang, already reached out to me, but I will not disclose their identities yet, Balbuena added. He also contradicted the claim of the LTFRB and Philippine National Police that members will force other jeepney drivers to join the transport strike. There is none. Actually, I even told our members if they cannot afford to join the transport strike, they can still operate. We have many strategies which we cannot disclose, he noted. Balbuena said that the LTFRB failed to address the concerns of jeepney drivers despite constant meetings with the agency. I often go to the LTFRB, but it fails to act on our concerns. But it's 5 months we are talking to them, but we did not get an answer or actions, he said. Balbuena said the LTFRB wants to kill traditional jeepneys as those who avail themselves of the modernization program suffer at least 200,000 monthly losses. In Cebu, for example, we discovered that traditional jeepneys were not allowed to operate for 1 year now, as the objective is to kill the traditional jeepney as the cooperatives failed to reach their monthly quota. They said that if our franchises are extended after December 31, their losses will continue, he said. Balbuena said that those who will join the transport strike will meet at University Avenue at the University of the Philippines in Diliman, Quezon City between 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. for a short program. We will assemble at the University Avenue. We hope they will allow us as we have no permit, but it will only be a short program until noon, he said. Balbuena said aside from Metro Manila, the transport strike will be felt in other areas in the country, particularly in Regions 3 and 4. Workers may opt not to report for work. Workers may opt not to report for work today due to inclement weather brought about by Storm Egay or because of the transport strike, according to the Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE. Labor Secretary Bienvenido Laguesma said workers may choose or even refuse to work by reason of imminent danger, as provided under Labor Advisory number 17 of 2022. By reason of imminent danger, they can be excused from work, Laguesma pointed out. Laguesma noted that the labor advisory is still existing with the DOLE can just cite the same for the guidance of workers and employers. The employee who fails to or refuses to work by reason of imminent danger resulting from weather disturbance and similar occurrences shall not be subject to any administrative sanction, he said. Under labor advisory, however, a worker who did not report for work is not entitled to regular pay, except when there is a favorable company policy or collective bargaining agreement granting payment of wages during a suspension of work due to inclement weather and similar occurrences. This report was brought to you by Equilibrium Probiotics. Please scan the QR code to see complete details on their Facebook page. Next on our top stories, Good morning, Ate Julie. Thanks for joining me this morning. And PWD President Ramon Berenguer, thanks for watching. Philippines-U.S. hold maritime dialogue in Washington. Report by PLE Brago to the Philippine Star. Manila, Philippines. The Philippines and the United States have agreed to step up maritime policy and operational cooperation amid tensions in the South China Sea. At the second Philippines-U.S. Maritime Dialogue on July 21 in Washington, Foreign Affairs Assistant Secretary for Maritime and Ocean Affairs Maria Angela Ponce underscored that the rising tensions and critical situation in the West Philippine Sea and the South China Sea and the persistent and evolving challenges to the rules-based international order drive us to enhance ways to respond faster and in a more coordinated and effective manner. Ponce led the Philippine delegation together with Philippine Ambassador Jose Manuel Romualdez, Deputy Assistant Secretary June Pak of the Bureau of East Asian and Pacific Affairs of the U.S. Department of State, led the delegation. Both sides emphasized their commitment to maintain the rules-based international order in the West Philippine Sea and South China Sea, in line with the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea and the 2016 Arbitral Award. The two delegations also discussed the broad scope of Philippine-U.S. bilateral maritime cooperation, engagements, and proposals, including measures to enhance combating transnational crimes at sea, addressing illicit, unreported, and unregulated fishing, and protecting and conserving the maritime environment. This report was brought to you by the Shed Cafe. Please scan the QR code to see their Facebook page. Self-rated poor families at 45%. Study made by SWS or Social Weather Station. Self-rated poor families at 45%, according to SWS, report by PLE Brago to the Philippine Star. Manila, Philippines. 45% of Filipino families rate themselves as poor, according to the latest National Social Weather Station survey. The results of the survey conducted from June 28 to July 1st were released yesterday, a day before President Marcos' second State of the Nation address. The SWS said the survey items reported in the poll were non-commissioned. The survey also found 33% of the respondents rating themselves as borderline by placing themselves on a horizontal line dividing poor and not poor, and the 22% rated themselves as hindi mahirap or not poor. This is a recovery compared to March 2023 when poor families were at 51%, borderline families at 30%, and not poor families at 19%, SWS said. On self-rated food poverty based on the type of food eaten by their families, SWS said the June 2023 survey found 34% of families rating themselves as food poor, 38% rating themselves as food borderline by placing themselves on the horizontal line dividing food poor and not food poor, and 29% rating themselves as not food poor. In March 2023, the survey found 39% of families were food poor, 35% were food borderline, and 26% not food, 4. The report was brought to us by Eden, Vietnam, in along Aguirre in BF Homes, Parañaque. Moving on to our global headlines. As long as we have AC, Phoenix heat shows gap between U.S. rich poor. Report by Agence France Press to the Philippine Star. Phoenix, Arizona, United States. Melanie Floyd took her kids to the zoo in Phoenix in the morning when temperatures in the heat wave roasting the city and much of the U.S. Southwest were still bearable. Standing before a turtle exhibit, she downplayed this extreme weather event in a world grappling with climate change. As long as we have AC and as long as everyone is making smart choices, this stay at home mother, aged 32, told the AFP, staying hydrated, going in the shade, staying cool, not overexerting themselves, I think is tolerable. At her home, it is, indeed, nice and cool. She keeps the air conditioning between 75 and 78 degrees Fahrenheit or 23 and 25 degrees Celsius so she can look after her kids aged 2 and 6 comfortably as they play with coloring books and crafts. Outside day after day, for more than 3 weeks, the temperature in Phoenix is surpassing a hard to fathom 110 degrees Fahrenheit. The heat wave affecting much of the southwest and southern United States, including the record temperatures in Phoenix, is igniting debate on how fast global warming is moving. For Floyd, this particular weather event is no big deal. You have to fluctuate as the weather fluctuates. So you have to be flexible with it, Floyd said. In this desert city, many people that spoke to AFP expressed similar views about the rising frequency of brutally dangerous heat as global warming caused by human activity grinds on. One must learn to live with it. Living without AC. For many of them, life is a series of mad dashes from offices to restaurants to shops, all with air conditioning cranked up good and frosty. In the city center and well-to-do suburbs, people do not think twice about leaving their car running while they get out to do an errand, so as to keep it cool for when they come back. But in less wealthy areas, heat like this is another thing altogether. If the temperatures go on like this, many people will not be able to cope, said Rosalia Licea, 37, who is raising 5 kids on her own. She lives in a mobile home park where most of the trailers are from the 1950s. Early in this heat wave, her air conditioning broke down. For 2 days, the temperature inside their mobile home hit 97 degrees Fahrenheit. The whole family had to take refuge in the room of the eldest child, which had a window AC unit. One of the smaller kids started having headaches. Lisea, who hails from Mexico, works several low-paying jobs to make ends meet. She does not have the $2,000 it would cost to buy a new AC system. So she came up with a makeshift solution, spent $800 to fix the broken one. I had no choice what with my kids, she said. It was a priority more than buying groceries or paying my rent. Even when the new motor in the old AC unit, one of the air conduits is broken, so the cold does not reach her living room. That is something else she will have to pay to have fixed. AC going full blast. Isaiah tried but failed to qualify for aid offered by the city or some utility companies for people to upgrade their air conditioning units. A study in 2022 by Arizona State University found that while mobile homes make up 5% of all housing in Maricopa County, which includes Phoenix and its suburbs, they account for 30% of indoor heat-related deaths in the city. It is easy to say we can adapt when you have access to everything, Lisea said. It is different for us. A fire broke out some days ago at her mobile home park, where the residences are hooked up directly to electrical pylons through shoddy connections. One mobile home was destroyed. The fire is believed to have started because of an electrical overload, with washing machines, dryers, fridges, and full blast air conditioning all operating at once. After 19 years in Arizona, Licea lives in fear of an electrical short circuit, so she mainly prepares salads for meals and tries to avoid turning on the lights to keep her electricity consumption and the temperatures as low as possible. If I could move to a state that is not so hot, I would do it, Licea said. Good morning, RJ Bapilar Lopez. Thanks for joining me this morning. Moving on to our regional updates. Cavite Better wins 22.8 million peso lotto pot. Report by Rainier Alan Ronda to the Philippine Star. Manila, Philippines. A lone better in Dasmariñas, Cavite won the jackpot in the 642 regular lotto draw on Saturday night. The winner correctly guessed the six-digit winning combination 14, 27, 19, 26, 8, 38, which had a total jackpot price of 22.82 million pesos. 43 other bettors won 24,000 pesos each for correctly guessing five of the six-digit winning combination, according to the Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office. On the same day, a player in the 6D Lotto won the jackpot for correctly guessing the six-digit winning combination of 8, 0, 5, 7, 3, and 9. The winning ticket, which was bought from a lotto outlet in Silang Cavite, had a total jackpot price of 6.12 million pesos. The 642 regular lotto is drawn every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Next on our regional story, Ampatuan's draft conviction upheld. Report by Elizabeth Marcelo to the Philippine Star. Manila, Philippines. The Sandigan Bayan has upheld the conviction of former Maguindanao Governor Sajid Ampatuan in connection with the allegedly fictitious purchase of food supplies worth 16.3 million peso in 2009. In a resolution promulgated on July 19, the Anti-Graft Court's Fifth Division refused to give due course to Ampatuan's motion, which sought to reverse an earlier decision finding him guilty of graft and malversation of public funds. The court said Ampatuan lost his privilege to appeal his conviction as he failed to surrender to authorities within 15 days from the promulgation of judgment on May 5. The failure of the respondent to regain his standing in court rendered the judgment of the conviction against him final and immutable. the 5th Division said as it denied Ampatuan's motion. Ampatuan and his lawyer were absent during the promulgation of judgment. The anti-graft court earlier issued an arrest warrant against Ampatuan as he failed to present himself before the court even after he was informed of his conviction. The law states that an accused who fails to attend the promulgation of his case may regain his good standing in court if he surrenders within 15 days from the date of promulgation and file a motion for leave to avail himself of legal remedies. The Fifth Division said that Ampatuan lost his standing in court and failed to regain such prior to the filing of the motion. Ampatuan was sentenced to 6 to 10 years in prison for violation of Section 3E of Republic Act 1319 or the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, along with former provincial budget officer and Bids and Awards Committee member Dato Al-Abdi. The defendants were disqualified from holding public office. They were also sentenced to 10 to 18 years in prison for malversation of public funds as provided under the revised penal code. Ampatuan and Abdi were each ordered to pay the government 16.33 million peso, which is equivalent to the amount of public funds they reportedly malversed. The case was filed in 2017 by the Office of the Ombudsman, which said the food purchases did not happen as the supplier was fictitious or non-existent. The respondents allegedly misappropriated the funds for themselves, according to the Ombudsman. Ampatuan was elected Vice Mayor of Sharif, Saidona Town during the May 2022 general elections. And copying of the stories in our regional updates. Mayon's lava debris spill over upper slope. Report by Seth De Matera and Bella Carriazo to the Philippine Star. Legazpi City, Philippines. After undergoing silent eruptions for over a month, Mayon volcano's lava flows and other detached and collapsed debris have spilled over the upper slope and are no longer confined in major gullies. The Philippines Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, reported yesterday. Paul Alanis, PHIVOLCS resident volcanologist at the Liñon Hill Observatory in the city, said that the upper gullies are now full, causing lava flows and other dome collapse debris to roll toward the middle slope. But the good news is that these rolling volcanic materials are still converging in major gullies as they reach the middle slopes, Alanis told the Star yesterday. In the past 24 hours, PHIVOLCS recorded a rise in the volcano's sulfur dioxide emissions from 1,758 tons the other day to 2,047 tons yesterday. The emissions were accompanied by 5 low-frequency volcanic wakes, 4 pyroclastic density currents, and 158 rockfall events. A week ago, PHIVOLCS estimated that Mayon had already ejected over 7.3 million cubic meters of debris since its alert level was raised to 3 in June. The spillover can be seen at night as incandescent materials spread out while rolling down the upper slope facing the Daraga, Legazpi, Santo Domingo areas. The spillover of ejected materials from the major gullies poses a threat to communities on the lower slope and beyond the 6-kilometer radius permanent danger zone, Alani said. This is the reason why we recommended banning entry inside the permanent danger zone. We cannot tell when these hazardous volcanic materials can breach the permanent danger zone, Alanis said. And moving on to sports. The next news update is brought to us by the first Magkasangga para sa AITA Play for a Cause badminton tournament on July 29. Team Manila stays unbeaten in Texas. Report by John Brian Ulanday to the Philippines. Manila, Philippines. Team Manila continued to stamp its class with a sizzling 6-0 record so far, boosting its titled redemption bid in the Pony International Softball World Series in Texas. Under coach Sherry Lou Valenzuela, Team Manila has scored 6 straight blowout wins in its return to the prestigious softball tourney at the McAllen Softball Complex. Team Manila drubbed Nitro, Mexico 4-0. Mustang SC, San Antonio, Texas 7-0. STX, Gladiatrix, Texas 11-0. Texas Glory Atkins, LT Wood, San Antonio 11-0. American Thunder Gulf Coast, Houston 4-1. And Premier Fast Pitch, California 3-0. Up next for Team Manila is Glory Atkins Behar of Texas, which also wiped out its 6 counterparts for a similar slate. The Philippines ruled the 2017 and 2018 editions and skipped the 2019 events due to the country's hosting of the 30th Southeast Asian Games. It's the return of the Pony World Series after a 3-year hiatus due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Team Manila is made up of Ken Shitan, Jaisel Roldan, Rhea May Kilong, and Francbel Patricio, Kyle Marie Matarong, Ann Rose Makatbag, and Angelica Cordero. Also in the fray are Mary Joy Alpiche, Catherine Dichon, Mary Jane Libaton, Satya Nicole Romero Salas, and Mary Jane Baronilla. Heading the Philippine delegation to Texas are Rafael Che Borromeo, Rolando Evangelista, and Neil King. And that caps our news update for today, July 24, 2023, Monday. And here again is the summary of our stories for today. Three-day transport strike starts today. Philippines-US hold maritime dialogue in Washington. Self-rated poor families at 45%, according to SWS. As long as we have AC, Phoenix heat shows gap between US rich, poor. Cavite Better wins 22.8 million peso Lotto pot. Ang Patuan's graft conviction upheld. Mayon's lava debris spill over upper slope. And finally in sports, Team Manila stays unbeaten in Texas. And with that, that concludes our news reading for today. Happy feast day po doon sa mga members po natin ng AGMA dito sa Tarlac at sa buong Pilipinas. No? Meron po tayong grupo na asosasyon di Maria Auxiliatrice. Ito po yung dating Archconfraternity of Mary Health of Christians. So today is July 24. Ano po siya? 24 is yun po yung monthly celebration po ng Mary Health of Christians. So happy feast day po sa mga ka-ADMA. Also, I would just like to reiterate the invitation to our first magkasangga para sa AITA Play for a Cause Badminton Tournament, which will be held on July 29. That's next Saturday na po. Susunod na Sabado na po yun. At ang event po ay gaganapin sa Smash Point Sports Center, Sunrise Subdivision, Barangay Maliwalo, Tarlac City. Today is the last day of entry, so sana po makahabol pa po kayo. Ngayong araw na lang po yung pagpapatala. So for those who are interested to join, I have posted the ads or the Facebook post of Smash Point Sports Center dito sa ating live streaming. Please scan the QR code and you will be able to get into the page of Smash Point. No? Doon po makikita niyo lahat ng impormasyon na kakailanganin niyo para makapagpatala. So sana po makasali po kayo at masuportahan po ninyo yung ating proyekto para sa mga AITA Abilin na matatagpuan sa Sitio Socorro, Barangay Moriones, San Jose, Tarlac City, San Jose, Province of Tarlac. So ano po ito, ang proyekto po doon na ginagawa nila Pastor Bienvenido Torres at ni CM Johnny Sanchez yung first aid station, no? First aid station / nutrition center at siyempre yung pagpapatuloy ng kanilang feeding program. Meron po silang feeding program na sinasagawa para sa mga kabataan ng Sitio Socorro at ito po halos yung mga kabataan po ng tribo ng AITA Abilin na doon po nakatira, no? Sa mismo Sitio Socorro. Sana po matulungan nyo, masuportahan nyo kami sa aming fundraiser na ito. And I'll be seeing you again tomorrow for our next live streaming of MSB Kape at Balita sa Umaga. Huwag po sana tayong magsawa sa pagsuporta sa ating programa. Time check, it's 6:31 a.m. So alam ko po yung mga iba dyan gagayak na and I'll be letting you go na po para makapagano na po kayo, makapaggayak-gayak na. And with that, thank you very much and have a good day ahead. At sa TikTok po natin, maraming salamat po sa pag-join. I'll see you again tomorrow, same time.